the basic concept is now's the time to really look at how could we reunite the southern and northern parts of 280 with a cap. There's a lot of value in the air rights there, and VTA, or I guess Caltrans, is looking at how do they do exit from 280 to Winchester. And so while they're doing that, it seems like why not look and investigate, would it be feasible to do something where we gain that airspace back for whatever use it may be, but really think 25 years from now. So that's the basic theme of the video, and the video talks about other places where it's being done. Places of all places, places like Dallas, Texas, the king of sprawl, and they took I think it was 5 acres of freeway, and they covered it with the park. It was a $100 million project, and now it's a $100 million park. But they took a downtown area that was split up and united it. So if someone like Dallas can do it, or someone like Duluth, Minnesota, where you could see the freeway dips underneath the lake, or it's not underneath the lake, next to the lake, so that way people can have direct access to the lake. So that's what the video is about. I'll send it out again to the emails. I think Steve will show it maybe at the next WAG meeting. The other video that from last time, I think this relates to it, and this was Adam, wasn't it? Adam Berger speaking at the last conference, and for some reason, like I said, the volume's not working. It worked great at home, but he made a very interesting comment in this segment. Unfortunately, it doesn't really say it on the screen here, but what he's called this area, he said VTA is considering this area, the Santana Row area, like Santa Clara County's second largest downtown, which is pretty significant if they're viewing it that way, because it really starts to make you think, well, gosh, if you had some transit facilities here, again, you could maybe use a cap, for instance, and start to do things like connect to Diridon Station so you can have transit. You really, it starts to boggle the imagination. So that was what he's saying. That's in the segment. So we have all last meeting with the VTA's conversations. They're split into 17 different segments, so you don't have to watch all hour and a half or whatever it is at once. You can go to things that are of interest to you or things that catch your eye. So anyone else? I wasn't actually at the meeting. I just edited the video, so I watched it over and over and over again. But anyone else have any comments about the meeting? Doug, who will bring us the Department of Transportation perspective on it.
I just would think what's interesting about the meeting is VTA over the next 2 years really is considering a redesign of their full system. So what VTA's system could look like in the future is really up for grabs depending on where things go. So if you have some input, if you're interested in influencing that, get involved and let VTA know what you think.
And I was encouraged because the first time that I've heard a VTA rep speak as if he was interested in what we were saying, and that he was actually learning something, and that he wanted more communication, that if we take the time to email them or call them with any ideas we've got, that they might consider them, and that at least was encouraging to me.
And that's right, and I think one of the things, and I'm going to be working on a kind of a more formal input to them. I did give them some input based on what I saw there, but I think we need to give this input also to the board of directors, because they're the ones who are responsible for the strategic direction. Is VTA a congestion management agency, or is it a transit agency? Right now it's both, and it's, sorry, but I don't think it's doing a good job of either, right? Tom and I took the 25 home the other day from the San Jose Giants game, started at 8 and ended up, couldn't go all the way to where we wanted to go. It stopped at 2.8 miles. It took us, we'd walked 2.8 miles when it finally caught up to us. Then we took it for the last about mile to the Valley Medical Center. It stops there on Saturday nights. And the experience, it was safe enough, but it kind of had a stench to it. And it was $4 to go basically 2 miles, so for $2 each for both of us. So it didn't win out on convenience, on quality, and anything else. So anyway, but I think, having said all that, I think it can do a lot more, and I think having used public transit in other places, it works. It can really be a cool thing, and so we just need to, I think, push the board and push VTA to be more creative.